So this weekend I didn't put out any videos. I was actually out and about with the family. Did a little camping. Didn't have any kind of internet access actually on my either tethering or whatever. Um, but yeah, now we're back. As you see in the groups, some news on my dApp. It's delayed yet again. I had a front end developer doing all the work on the front end, and he totally hosed me over. And anyway, I've got another developer lined up. Looks a lot more promising. I'm not going to run anybody else through Telegram. Basically, the old dev that I had, I basically just used Turd Burglar as a test for them to see if they could deliver, and they did. And then the guy on this project, gave him the benefit of the doubt. Got him the payment that he needed, blah, 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 and haven't really seen anything from him. So, and then he kept asking for more and more money, and then I said, no more, I need to see a finished project. And then he finished product. And then he just, said, if you don't provide me more money, then I'm not going to give you a product, even though I've already paid more than the actual project cost. So anyway, that guy totally scammed me. That's kind of the space we're in. It's kind of crappy. I will link to his Telegram address. I don't know if he's even gonna keep it, because I'm gonna try to get as many people as I can, sending him a little bit of love his way. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened. So with that, yeah, I've got another developer lined up. I did want to make a few little changes to the contract and how things were going to be going, but I want to get a product out there to you guys pretty quickly. But yeah, new developer says about 7 days to get this site built. I haven't signed it with him yet. It'll probably be either later today or tomorrow morning that I get that going. But that'll give me some more time for testing, and also there's a couple other things I want to add to the contract. Just make it more bulletproof, make it a bit better. So that'll give me some time to play with that. But yeah, that's still on its way. Anyway, today I want to talk about EMP money. And this is a fork off of all these things that are forks off of something else. But I like when they do something new or different, or add to it or whatever. And that's what EMP money did. They forked off of Tomb. There's lots of these forks. And this one is, the EMP token is pegged to Ethereum on the Binance Smart Chain. So you don't need, when you look at this, you think Ethereum, you think high gas fees. But this is Ethereum on Binance Smart Chain. So yeah, those low gas fees for BSC. So yeah, the way these things work is they've got an algorithm that pegs their token to something. For instance, this one is their EMP. 4,000 of these EMP should equal 1 Ethereum. And if it does, then it's on peg. Obviously it's just about right on right now. I've been kind of watching it the last week. I really watch these Tomb forks because I want to see them keep that peg for a while before I jump in, because I want to see if they can, keep that, and especially if they can keep it during that whole thing that went down and everything heading down, because it's hard to actually keep something pegged when it's actually going down. It's kind of weird. But with that, I think the lowest it got from peg was like 0.95, 0.96, which is actually really, really good for an algorithm to peg. So with that, I've been in other ones, Tomb forks like Bomb Money, and that one's pegged to Bitcoin, and I've seen that one get down to like 0.55, like half, and then it's come back up and kind of bounces around. But this one's actually stayed pretty well even with Ethereum, which I like to see. And I'm not going to go over a lot of this stuff because farms and stakes, boardroom, bonds, all those things. Those are all part of the original tomb fork, or the original tomb. So, and there's videos about all those all over the place. So, I'm not going to go into too deep on those ones. They have nodes. I'm not really interested in nodes right now. I don't know if node season is over and done with, or if somebody's gonna create something that's gonna be more sustainable with nodes, because right now, you get in nodes, they usually pay pretty well for, weeks, and then all of a sudden the price crashes and you're getting pennies where you used to getting, $50 to $100 a day. Now you're getting, 50 cents a day on your investment, and it takes a long time to get back to your initial that way. So yeah, I'm not really looking into too many nodes right now. Things like red light district, are having a tough time. We saw, another one just rugged. I mentioned in the last video, it's blanking, giving me a blank right now, but that's okay. So I'm not too big into nodes right now. I really like the ROI stuff like drip, where they're, lower, much lower returns, so it's much more sustainable. They're not going to have high referral rewards that drain things, and that's why I'm really looking at Detonator. And what you do is you stake. I did one talking about the eShare liquidity pool in one of my last videos, but this one you actually stake the EMP Ethereum LP token, and that's what you're staking. You're not staking just a single token in this. You're staking a liquidity pool token. So that's going to take a little bit of work to set up. It's not tough to do really, but we'll walk through that in a minute. But I just want to talk about what this is. It's a staking, like an ROI dApp. It's basically an ROI, but it's got a lot of different things baked into it that make it appealing to long-term investment. So let's talk about this. So yeah, you stake that the LP token. There is referrals. It's low. It's like 3%. Another thing good about the referrals is when you get a referral reward, it auto compounds into your stake total. You don't get that. You can't withdraw it to your wallet. It doesn't go straight to a wallet or anything. It goes straight into your stake total. You're deposited. So you can't just yank all that out. They have the same thing. You can claim, you can compound, just super simple. Upon claiming, there is a 20% tax. Compound, obviously you save that, but anyway. All right, so let's talk about this a bit more. Let's get into the white paper. That's kind of the interface. It's kind of easy to look at. Every deposit, 10% will be split. So 10% is going to go into these different fees. 90% is going to go right to the pool. So first, 3% of the token will go to your referrer. Whoever your referrer is. If there's no link, this percentage will go to the treasury. The treasury here, they use it to do other investments and bring other money back into the pool. I wish this was higher, 1% and maybe 3% if people don't have a referrer. That treasury needs to be a little higher to sustain more investment and income coming in. But it's looking pretty decent so far compared to other things that I've seen. The other 6%, it actually goes to rewards for everybody that's staked. So every time somebody deposits, 6% of that gets distributed among everybody in what's available for them, and they can compound that or claim it. Payouts and prizes. So 3% daily you'll get, and that's proportional to your share of the pool. So you should be getting about 3% a day. 1% of the overall pool will be paid out to the largest single deposit per 24 hours. I'm not a huge fan of that. I mean, that's like, hey, whale, here's, right now it's like, here's 30 grand a day. If you plop this stuff in there. I'm not a huge fan of that. I hate that they did that. And then the 1%, I wish they would just stuck to this. The 1% is just a random lottery winner for the past 24 hours. So every 0.15 EMP LP token that you contributed, you're gonna get one ticket. So if you put in, I don't know, 0.6, you'd get like 4 lottery tickets. Anyway, those tickets will determine if you win or not, and if you do, you get the 1%. And when you get these rewards, they're not available to withdraw. They're automatically compounded for you, and you basically get your rewards based off of that total. Right now, those 1% is like 30K, which that's a big win. Yeah, I mean, you get that, you're going to be making $300 a day. If you actually more than that, about $900 a day, because 3%. So that's a decent win for that. You can only earn a maximum of 365% of this thing. It's like drip or any of those where you have a maximum earnings. Whatever you deposit, you get 365% of that as a max payout to you. Time frames, you have to claim or compound every 24 hours. Otherwise, if you just don't touch it and you just let it lapse, it just goes back into the pool. So be very well aware that you need to get in there every day. They want you to get in there and either compound or claim. They do have this little disclaimer, it's based on experiment. All these DeFi dApps are experiments. Some look good on numbers, some they're just trying to crank out money for themselves quickly, or they're just throwing something together to try it. I mean, that's what all these are, is they're looking to make something. Unfortunately, a lot are just trying to make something to enrich themselves and take a lot of money from people. And others, they're just trying to make something more sustainable. And, obviously, they're there to make money, yes, but they're not there to like rug people, and, they're trying to make a sustainable product that'll be around for years. And if that's the case, then obviously they'll make money. But just know it is an experiment, and it is high risk. I'm not saying you should jump into this. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not going to tell you where you should put your crypto or your money or anything. I'm just providing some information of how I view these things, and you can make your own decisions. So this is the contract workflow. I mean, this is, I don't know, it's pretty easy to look at. Your wallet, 90% goes to the pool, 10% goes to these things. I mean, we already talked about this. Withdraw tax is 20% tax, and only 5% if you compound, and all the compounding goes back into the contract pool. That tax is not like being taken by the owners. There is a whale tax. So if you have larger percentages of the pool, you're going to get taxed more than others. So just be aware of that. All right, some of the questions. Does your ownership expire? Yes, 365%. We talked about that. What happens if my penny rewards exceed my maximum claimable? So say this is your last day and you go over that 365, you can claim that last claim that puts you over, and you'll get all of that back. So if you get up to 367%, but as soon as you make that withdraw, you go over that 365 and it's done. But you can still claim that last time. How does it impact the EMP price? So guys, these things are all based on kind of a rotation of funds going back and forth and around and kind of supporting each other. So when you deposit this EMP ETH liquidity pool token, it locks up that pair. And the more that they can get locked up, the better it is for this peg number here. It's much easier to keep around peg if you've got a bunch of people staked in this thing, and they've got a lot of this EMP-ETH LP locked up in here. So it's much better for them to have, a lot of people locked up in this thing, because it's easier to keep peg, and then it pays out better in all these other things. So with that, let me talk about the recommended strategy. You can use this thing as just a standalone dApp, just a standalone ROI dApp that you put money in, get 3% out every day. You can get some referrals if you want. You can dump a bunch of money in here if you want to win this prize one day. I mean, right now, I think the top deposit for the day is $5,500 or $5,145. So you'd have to be higher than that, and then somebody might outbid you by the end of the daily prize timer here. You might win a lottery prize, whatever. But anyway, you're really just trying to make that 365% out of this. But once you get these tokens, you're going to be earning the same kind of tokens back, and you're going to claim those LP tokens. Now you can do two things with that when you get that. You can either go remove the liquidity between the two and cash out and swap the tokens or whatever, break it up, or you can take that and you can go over onto the farm and you can deposit it into this liquidity farming share, basically. And when you do that, over time, we can view this, you'll get 0.27% a day. Right now, that's what the daily APR is. And when you stake those LPs that you get from Detonator, you will actually earn eShare, which is a bond that they have, the eShare bond, and you can keep earning that. Now, what you can do with that eShare that this generates is go to the boardroom and you can stake it in here. And this one, you stake it in here and you can pull it out anytime. So it's not like locked up forever. You stick it in here, and anytime this peg, it's called TWAP, it's the time weighted average price. Anytime that thing goes for a complete epoch over 1.01, this thing prints, and you'll get EMP reward, EMP earned. Right now it's a APR of 270%, but it really depends on how often this is above that TWAP price. And then, once this kicks out EMP, you can build LP tokens with that EMP, stick it back in Detonator, and just continue the circle between Detonator, farm, boardroom, and it just keeps building the tokens over time. So that's kind of, I think I'm just going to try just the Detonator for a while and see how it's working. Just make sure, it's slowly growing, and just kind of check it out from there. The only thing I don't like about this, there's mainly a couple things I don't like. I love LP tokens because you can gain a lot of rewards from LPs. But they're just kind of a pain to build and then take apart at the end. It's more of a nuisance than anything. But I wish they had like a zap in on here. The other thing is I don't like this whole top deposit prize. I hate hey, whales, come and jump on this thing and we'll give you a % of the pool. I mean, that's crappy. I hate that. But I do like that they have lower rewards per day. They have a low referral system. People that get referrals, they can't just take a bunch out of the contract balance. Yeah, that's just a couple things I don't like about this. Anyway, I was going to do a little thing. I want to show you how you can build these. If you decide you want to get on this, you have to build those liquidity pool tokens, and I can show you how to do that. So I'm going to actually jump into this thing right now, and I will show you. We're just going to kind of walk through this together. So if I look at the EMP, I need EMP tokens. So I click on that on deck screener, and I can see there's EMP, ETH, and that's kind of what we want. So here's the pair. But I need to get EMP first. So the best way to do this is just kind of copy the addresses, and I'll show you how to do this. Copy the address for that. We'll go into Pancake Swap, and I've got some BUSD here. I'm going to trade that for the EMP token, and I copy that address, paste it in there. When I select a token, I select import. I understand that this might be a crappy token and I can't get anything back for it. So I'm going to put $200 into this. So I'm going to put 100 into the EMP token. So I'll swap that. We'll confirm. Never popped up for me, but we'll open that up. We'll confirm that. So however much you want to put into this, you need to put half in EMP and half into Ethereum. So let's wait for that to be done. That should be done now. And now instead of EMP down here, I'm going to put in the Ethereum token. I'm going to put 100 in there. We will hit swap, confirm. All right, once that's done, you have to go trade. You can go liquidity, and we're gonna hit add liquidity. So first we're gonna put in our EMP, and then we're gonna put in another currency of Ethereum. And we'll max that one out, and it'll automatically fill out the even number of the one down here if we max that one side out. So that's going to give an EMP slash Ethereum liquidity token, LP token. So we have to enable each one. So we have to sign these things. We confirm that one. If you make sure you're in, the correct Pancake Swap, and it's not like, they have the phishing warning. I'm not too concerned with giving them access to this stuff. So we do that. This is what I mean by I hate having to do this. Build the tokens. So then after I approve both of those, I hit supply. We confirm the supply. Hit confirm. Throw that in there. So that gives us 2.9 of the tokens. All right. All right, now we've built our liquidity pool token, the EMP-Ethereum token. Now I come in here to Detonator. After I have that built, I have to approve what I have, what I just built, basically, your cake LP. So we are going to approve that. We'll wait a little bit here for it to get approved. I think it's approved. I think they have a problem with their thing back here. All right. funny. You have to approve your LP token and then you can zap in. I really hate that. They should let you zap in without having to build the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to throw in 2.9. It's what I just built. Remember, guys, deposits are final. Principal cannot be withdrawn after depositing. You only get rewards after this, so just be aware of that. All right, so we're gonna hit confirm on that. Let that finish up and we should be good to go. Yeah, so as I go through this, there's a couple things I dislike, and like I talked about, I hate having to build the liquidity pool token. I wish that they had the whole zap in, feature in the beginning. This way you could just, if I had BUSD, I could have put 200 and hit approve, and it would have built the whole token for me. So yeah, that's one thing I had no idea that you could do on here. I wish it was more clear, and they should have had that zap in mentioned on the front end before you actually have to go build the LP. It just make it a lot easier for a lot of people. So yeah, guys, maybe try that. Maybe try hitting that approve here, even without it being in your wallet. And yeah, let me know how that works. If you do get in on this, I'm not saying you should. If you do, let me know if you just zap in and if you have to build that token first. That's one thing that I wish was documented a bit better and shown a bit. So yeah, anyway, yeah, it should have my, what I've had deposited, the max that I'll get paid out, what I've claimed, and yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely not in the race for the top deposit prize, obviously. I'm not gonna put in $5 grand into this. I wish I had that kind of money, but I don't. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and get a lottery, or one of you guys do that get in on this. Anyway, guys, that is EMP money, mainly the detonator. I'm just curious to see how well this thing goes, but yeah, I'll leave a link to it, and it will be a referral link. So if you do use it, it's going to be, basically, give me 3% of whatever that is into my rewards. I don't get to just withdraw that and, do a, rip everything out of the contract balance, because that's just not cool. Anyway, guys, that's Detonator. I've got my dApp coming up, hopefully as soon as I can get the front end built. And I have another dApp that I'm actually doing some research on. And if that thing actually works, it's going to be probably one of the most sustainable, and in DeFi, probably one of the safest things you could invest in, because yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm not saying that my next dApp that I've been working on is gonna be terrible, or if it's not sustainable. I'm saying that I've got another idea that's gonna be like super safe, hopefully somewhat high, quote unquote high rewards. But I'm just trying to build that, and just test. I'm doing some testing to see if it's actually going to be viable, and if it is viable, then I will definitely let you guys know what's coming, and that thing will be, I'll probably build that as fast as I possibly can. Anyway, guys, that is the video. Sorry, it's a bit of a long one, and it was kind of boring walking through building the liquidity pool token. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you want to subscribe, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.